They say Thor is a hero. They say Loki is his mischievous brother. But what if everything you know is only half the truth? Marvel's polished version hides a vast realm of fierce battles, shocking betrayals, and a final doom that no one can escape. You want the real truth about the All-Father, the Thunder God, and the Trickster himself? Brace yourself, because the original Norse myths hit harder than any blockbuster film. In Marvel's world, Thor is a clean-shaven cosmic champion, wielding a hammer only he can lift, living in a polished golden city. Reality check: the real Thor is a fiery-haired, full-bearded guardian of Midgard. He's not just strong, he's ferocious, known for feats of brute force that shattered mountains. When the giants threatened Asgard, it wasn't always a neat, well-choreographed duel. Thor's battles were raw, messy, and often cunning. His hammer, Mjolnir, forged by dwarves called Brokkr and Sindri, carried the power of storms. But there was no enchantment like Marvel's. Only those who are worthy can lift it. In fact, the hammer's short handle was an accident during its forging. The dwarves messed up part of the process because Loki, in disguise, tried to sabotage them. Right there is the first clue. Loki's relationship to Thor is not a sibling rivalry. In the original myths, Loki is sometimes referred to as a blood brother to Odin, though that is not a straightforward adoption story. He's not the son of Odin, nor is he the stepbrother of Thor. He's a shape-shifting Jotun, a giant who occasionally aids the gods, occasionally betrays them, and frequently stirs up comedic or catastrophic trouble. If you're imagining that cunning grin from the films, it's not far off. But the stakes are far higher. When Loki's treachery finally crosses the line, leading to the death of Balder, the shining son of Odin, he triggers unstoppable doom. Ragnarok. Now, let's talk about Ragnarok, the prophesied end of everything. In Marvel, Ragnarok might be a big explosive event, but it often gets retconned or sidestepped. In Norse belief, Ragnarok was the unstoppable final battle. The consequences weren't a sequel setup, it was the destruction and rebirth of the cosmos. The gods fight monstrous foes they can't defeat without losing themselves. Thor contends with the world serpent Jörmungandr, who is Loki's offspring. Yes, that's how entangled Loki's legacy is with cosmic beasts. Thor manages to strike it dead, but can't escape the serpent's venom, staggering 9 steps before dying. Odin meets Fenrir, another child of Loki, in a cataclysmic showdown. The wolf devours Odin, fulfilling a prophecy that not even the All-Father could avoid. And the result isn't a triumphant hero's finale. It's raw, bitter, and predestined. Imagine Odin, the wise patriarch, haunted by visions of his demise. He sacrificed his eye at Mimir's well to gain knowledge, yet everything he foresaw pointed to the final confrontation. He raised warriors in Valhalla, not simply to honor them, but to prepare for that final stand. Still, the knowledge gnawed at him, a cosmic burden that weighed on Asgard's king. That's some serious emotional turmoil, less a swaggering father figure and more a tormented visionary. In Marvel, Odin is imperious but ultimately stable, ruling an immortal realm. In the myths, though, he's a restless seeker of knowledge, always paying enormous prices for power. He hanged himself on the world tree Yggdrasil, pierced by his own spear, to gain runic wisdom. He shape-shifted and schemed for the mead of poetry, even deceiving giants. Because in the actual mythos, power is never guaranteed. The gods themselves can stumble. As for Loki's internal conflicts, he's not a lovable anti-hero. He's cunning incarnate, an agent of upheaval. He's the father of monsters, Jörmungandr the serpent, Fenrir the wolf, Hel the guardian of the underworld realm named after herself. Each child is a piece of his chaotic legacy. Yet in some myths, Loki helps the gods just as often as he hinders them. He engineers solutions to cosmic threats, but the tension grows, and once Balder, the pure, beloved god, dies because of Loki's deception, the trust is shattered. The consequence? The binding of Loki with the entrails of his son, a venomous snake dripping poison onto his face. Sigyn, his wife, crouches by his side, catching venom in a bowl, only for the bowl to fill. Each time Sigyn empties it, venom strikes Loki, causing earthquakes. This agony continues until Ragnarok. That's not a comedic trickster just pulling pranks for fun. That's the portrait of a cunning force tethered to unstoppable doom. The personal torment of being chained in a cave and the cosmic repercussion of setting events in motion that no one can stop. Even the watchers of the 9 realms feel that dread. We also need to talk about Sif. Marvel portrays her as a fearless warrior, which is actually somewhat aligned with certain mythic glimpses. She's certainly proud and significant. However, in the old poems, Sif is primarily noted for her golden hair, which Loki shears off in one of his mischiefs, leading him to replace it with dwarven-forged locks of real gold. Although less is said of her heroic exploits in ancient texts, she remains a symbol of Earth's fertility, and sometimes is seen as the golden field to Thor's protective storm. The comedic spin in Marvel is only a fraction of her mythic presence. She's bigger than a side character. She's an embodiment of harvest and growth. Now, let's address Hel. In Marvel, she's Hela, Odin's daughter who occasionally leads armies of the dead. In the myths, Hel is Loki's daughter, cast out by Odin into the realm that shares her name. She presides over those who die of sickness or old age, not in glorious battle. She's half living and half corpse, a stark reminder that death lurks in the cosmic fabric. While Marvel's version merges her with other aspects of death, the truth is more chilling. Hel's domain is a dim, cold place, no flaming underworld. Those who dwell there simply fade out of the heroic tale, which was a dreadful concept in a warrior society. No grand feast, no epic battles, just a forlorn existence under Hel's gaze. What about the 9 realms themselves? Marvel loves to present them as a cosmic alignment of planets or realms swirling across space. In Norse myth, Yggdrasil is the world tree that binds the realms together. Asgard for the Aesir gods, Vanaheim for the Vanir gods, Alfheim for the elves, Midgard for humans, Jotunheim for giants, Niflheim for primordial ice, Muspelheim for primordial fire, Svartalfheim for dwarves or dark elves, and Hel for those who die outside of battle. It isn't some neat stellar arrangement, it's a layered reality connected by the tree's branches and roots, overseen by Norns who spin fates at the base of Yggdrasil. Speaking of the Vanir, Marvel rarely addresses Freya, and Njord in depth, but they play huge roles in classical myth, symbolizing fertility, prosperity, and certain magical arts. Freya taught Odin cider, a form of sorcery that let him see and manipulate fate. That's a big deal in the Eddas because it shows Odin learned from other gods. He wasn't always the top dog in every magical domain. Marvel focuses more on a streamlined Asgard, ignoring the complex interplay with the Vanir. Meanwhile, the real myths are more like a fabric with interwoven threads. Alliances, hostilities, truces, and shared powers. Even the dwarves in the myths, they're master craftsmen who shape not just Mjolnir, but also Gungnir, Odin's spear, and other wonders. They have names, personalities, and a certain grudging respect from the gods, plus an unpredictable edge. Marvel tends to reduce dwarves to cameo roles, but within the mythic tradition, the dwarves are integral architects of divine power. Given all this, it's clear. Marvel's Asgard is a polished adaptation, but it seldom captures the gritty, awe-inspiring essence of the myths. The cinematic or comic version sanitizes the gods' darkest impulses and fears. The real mythology is full of contradictions, raw violence, and cosmic truths. Mortality touches even the immortals in the sagas. That's what made these stories ring with Vikings, who lived daily with harsh realities. If you're wondering why these divergences matter, think of the consequences. If we gloss over Odin's willingness to sacrifice his own comfort for knowledge, we lose that sense of desperation that defines him. If we rewrite Loki as purely comedic or misunderstood, we lose the terror of a figure who can father monsters that devour the sun. And if we relegate Thor to noble savior mode, we miss the humor, the rawness, and the unshakable loyalty that caused real worshippers to call upon him during thunderstorms. And there it is. What Marvel gets wrong is not just the small stuff, hair color, relationships, or who's brother to who. It's also the entire cosmic tension between an unavoidable apocalypse and the fierce grit of gods who fight anyway. It's a realm where forging a golden wig or stopping an ice giant isn't just an action scene. It's a testament to the precarious balance between order and chaos. There's so much more. We haven't even tackled how giants aren't always purely evil. Sometimes they're wise, sometimes they marry gods. Nor have we discussed the significance of runes beyond decorative shapes, or the fervent hopes mortal souls pinned on the Aesir. But maybe this is enough for a start. Because once you open the door to true Norse mythology, you enter a world that rings with primal beliefs about fate, family, and the unstoppable churn of existence itself. So if you're used to the Marvel version, where a snap of the fingers or a rewrite of reality changes everything, prepare for something wilder, older, and infinitely more haunting in the original myths. Because sometimes the end is written. The monsters have already grown in the shadows, and the gods themselves quake, watchful and resolute, as the twilight approaches. And when Ragnarok finally ignites, there's no victory lap. Everything burns. Then something new begins. But that's another story, one Marvel never fully showed you.